a look here. So if we look at these two setups here then, Tony, okay, so the first one was just one of the ones you were doing at the start of the session. And again, you can see there your lower half now aiming quite a long way to the right. And that's not going to affect necessarily the direction the ball goes, but it's certainly going to affect your contact and your ability to start the ball online, okay? So we make it very difficult now for your hips and shoulders to rotate equally. Your top half will probably rotate, but your lower half now with this foot dragged back is going to be very restrictive through the golf ball, okay? What we've got to try and do is build into our sequence now. Now you can't have a club on the ground, obviously, but for practice, we can put it there to get used to what it looks like. Feet together, build your distance from the ball first, and then once you're comfortable with that, then you set your feet apart. I think a couple of times you said you feel a bit too close or too far away, so give yourself that sort of 5-10 seconds to sort of adjust yourself into terms of setup. Now in terms of the swing, again, backswing's good. You said the speed of the backswing, you sort of feel a bit slower now, which is okay. Top of the backswing, good swing there, good strike, and we can rotate. And this foot now is starting to lift. Is it lifting as much as we want to? Obviously not, but it's getting to where we want to get to, okay? Whereas this sort of movement here now, I mean, that foot is flat as can be, and if you look where your shoulders are sort of finished there, the ball's been hit out to the right there, as we can see, and a bit of a miss hit. Your shoulders, even when you're sort of bringing the golf club down, your shoulders there have probably gone through 90 degrees, but I look at your back, your belt loopers back here, up your hips are probably aiming in that sort of direction out there, so your poor spine now is just going, yeah? Now, if you're doing it infrequently, as you said, I haven't played in 2 months, and you probably played 6 or 10 games this year, there's not a lot of strain relative on your back. But if you hopefully start to play a bit more, then we want to start making sure your swing is a little bit more healthier than repeatable. So when you swing through now, the foot starts coming off, this knee will start coming round, this hip will start coming round, and that will just come from the practice that we said at home, just with feet either side about shoulder width, okay? Move a bit to the left, pivot round, so you start learning what this hip and this shoulder do. So don't go further with this, that's better, there you go. And it's almost as if you're just handing something to someone to your left, yeah? I mean, if I said to you now, put an imaginary golf club in your hand, have like a bucket of water and just hand it to me now to your left, you'd probably find you just move that way, and body parts will hopefully start following suit, thus making it more healthier on you, a more repeatable, more efficient swing, and things are now starting to move more kind of where you want to go, as opposed to kind of a bit scattergun. You had some left, some right, some high, some low. And again, if the ball position is going to be affected by where your feet are pointing, which it will be, yeah, if your feet are over there now, the ball's going to seem very much different to where it wants to be. So you're hitting the ball a bit late and a bit early, yeah. So
I'm most probably wasn't about watching too much on YouTube.
I think there's a lot of good things on there. The problem is, and the way you got to look at it is, when you go onto YouTube, there's golf videos on there, and I will send this through as a link on YouTube anyway to you, so you have as a reminder. But a lot of the good stuff on there is relevant to people who it's relevant to. You might click on how to improve my golf swing, or increase distance, or how do I stop slicing, how do I stop hooking, how do I do this, how do I do that, and you click on it, and this person will tell you factual information about what causes a certain thing. But if I'm there looking to try and, I don't know, release the pressure on my boiler, and I click on a video to how to bleed a radiator, I'm not probably going to get the same results, am I? Yeah. What they're saying on each individual video is correct, but what I'm learning myself to do is irrelevant to what I want to do. Yeah. And it's kind of a industrial thing in the house. It's water, it's heating, it's all that kind of stuff, but it's a different kind of thing. Reversing a tap or twisting it. So there is differences, yeah? And it's not that these people are saying things that are wrong, it's just, is it relevant to you? And as well, when you click on one, you click on every single one that's related to it. And so you probably watch about 10 in about 5-10 minutes, you're like, oh, great, and you go to raid with all those thoughts in your head. So it's got to be linked to you.
On there about for seniors,
like, yeah.
Whether you put your 1 foot back so you can come back.
Yeah. Great going back, but then you can't go through it, I find. Yeah, it makes sense.
Well, that's right, yeah. I mean, I haven't got that. I haven't got the problem with coming back down.
Yeah, no. If your body going through is not a problem. But for me, if the right foot gets dragged back, it makes it very hard for people to rotate their body through the target. Yeah. So I'd rather a swing be slightly shorter going back because we're not able to turn so much, but then be able to release everything through fully so your spine stays a bit straighter, rather than it being pulled around and
Yeah,
and you're
because
putting
you
someone
see,
in
I've
pain.
got the power there. It's just,
Yeah, well, you hit the ball a long way. There's, I mean, you're not going to be someone who worries about distance in terms of how far it goes. You hit the ball a good distance, it gets out there a long, long way. It's just the problem at the moment now, it's not.
It's when I go up with my mates.
Yeah.
Like, what are you using? Like, oh, I'm using a pitching wedge.
Yeah, and he's hitting like a 6 or a 7.
And he's saying, I'm using a 5.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, exactly, yeah. So, but if we can get yourself lined up, that's the key thing. Yeah. Lining up is going to be key, because once you're lined up better, you can move better. Whether you do is another matter, but all we can hope for is setting up in a better position, help us rotate. Yeah.
Even if I go the back with a clip on.
Yeah, just stand there doing that. Yeah,
Yeah,
allow that foot to be and let this hip come round the corner. There you go. So this hip and shoulder stay in line, and that shoulder up there, and don't sort of try to drag it round.
Yeah.
The hips are leading that movement. Yeah, it's not the shoulder trying to pull you around over the top. Okay, dokie.
Yeah.
Cool, good stuff. Right.